What should you do as a man to protect your spouse? In today's podcast, Sissy and I, we're going to share our opinions on what we think is appropriate, well, for us, and what's not.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Blissology podcast. I am your host, Cece, and I'm joined by my husband.
Hey, everyone, this is Will, and welcome back. If this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe and hit on the notification bell so we can notify you when these videos come out. So this is a weekly podcast where we talk about
a whole lot of drama. No, we don't do drama here, okay? But y'all know there's drama going on, so we talk about love, life, family, relationships, but y'all know this podcast is mostly about relationships, so that's what we talk about here the most. So yes, guys, I'm excited for this podcast today, but before we get into the topic of the day, we like to go into our blissful moment, right, babe?
Yes.
What's your blissful moment, honey?
I am halfway through my project.
Okay.
I'm working on a project, and
Yay.
I can't fully disclose what it is yet because I want to keep it a secret. But it's a big project. It's the biggest I have undertaken since we've lived in this house. So I'm at the halfway mark. It's been occupying all my weekend, and so far I am destroying the house.
You are literally. Literally, guys, he is. But I'm proud.
It's been a work in progress for the last 2 weeks, but the planning has been going on for about a year now. But yeah, that's been good. It's been keeping me occupied. My family's been there supporting me.
We've been working.
They've shown a lot of confidence in my abilities, and I guess that's what keeps me going. They know that I can. Well, I'm told that I can do it. Although sometimes doubts crept in. It's like, geez, how do I do this? And then as I went through it, and it all comes across. It's getting expensive somewhat, though.
Yes, listen, but it'll cost you a lot more if you had somebody else doing it.
Yes. So supposedly I'm saving a whole lot of money.
A whole lot of money.
Why not? Hey, 4 weekends. That's what it's gonna take. So far I've gotten 2 weekends.
Yes.
Now. I have 2 more to go.
I think it's going to take you more than that.
It might, but it's my house.
Right. And the thing is, though, listen, guys, like, I feel like the girls and I told you several times before, there's nothing that you can't do. I feel like there's a lot of things that you put your hands into. You just find a way to make it happen, That's what it's good to have a man that make things happen. Y'all know what I'm thinking. Make shit happen, It's good to have like a strong handyman that can slap somebody. So if you're a man
and you're out there, you're not making things happen, you probably need to start making things happen. But I know you're probably wondering what's this project, and obviously
we ain't telling you yet. We ain't telling you.
We will reveal it sometime in the future.
In the future,
actually, we'll reveal it when it's done, or we'll share it with you guys when it's done.
Yes.
But it's a big thing, and it's been my moment, my blissful moment, because I'm proud so far what I've done.
Very proud, yes.
When this came, I was like, oh my God, what do we do? Mm-hmm. And yes, we lived through the pain for like 6-7 months, and then I kind of put 2 and 2 together and minimize the pain somewhat.
Minimize it, just minimize it.
But now it's almost done. But yeah, halfway through it, so I'm patting myself on the back whenever I go around the garage and see, this is what I've done so far.
Yes, and the girls and I are so proud. Listen, we're so proud of you. Even my parents are proud of you. So it is. You should be very proud. When it's done, we're gonna celebrate.
Oh yes.
Let's make sure that it's done the right way. Nothing else break.
We'll find out.
Knock on wood. But anyways,
So that's my blissful moment. What's yours?
No, that's the blissful moment. I think it's a great blissful moment because, when you have the gift, God has given you this gift of using your hands,
Sometimes I think I'm in the wrong profession.
I truly think so too.
I don't do a lot of stuff with my hands in my day job.
Right.
I just talk.
And handshake people's hand.
No, this COVID, we don't.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. All right with it. But yes, you've done so many projects with your hands. Like, I feel like your gift is, maybe
in these hands.
Right.
I should change job. But I like doing things with my head as well. So.
Well, don't you use your head to make your hands happen?
Yes. But I like sitting at a desk and talk.
But there's more money using your hands. You know that, right?
Yeah, you're right. Because if I was doing what I'm doing now for someone,
that's 20 grand.
Easy 10 grand profit.
20, 15 grand.
At least. Yeah.
Yes. We got to think about this, baby.
I may be in the wrong line of work.
You are in the wrong line of work. You know already. But, but it's all good. It's all good.
I know.
It's all good. But yeah, we're very proud of you. Listen, Thank you. I have to, kind of like let him use the weekend because, y'all know on Saturdays we used to go out and do our little fun thing together. But that hasn't been happening lately.
We did fun thing on Sunday.
Okay, we were working on Sunday for a client. How is that?
Yes.
Yeah,
we were. Photo shoot for a client.
Yes, we were working.
But you had fun.
I had fun, but we were working. How is that like?
We finished with the client. We sent the clients away.
I'm just saying.
And then they took me back to go spend another 2 hours of them.
It wasn't 2 hours. It was an hour.
It was 2 hours.
It was an hour. The client left at 12:30. Went back, and then we left him around 1:45.
2 o'clock. 2:30.
That's not true. That's not true. You're so exaggerating right now. That is so not true. But anyways, it wasn't about us. We had a client. Okay. We were working. Let's put it this way. We were working and we've been blessed. But anyways, guys, yes, let's now, anything else you want to?
No, that's it.
This is your blissful moment.
If I say anything else, I'm going to give it away.
Please don't. We don't want to get that away yet. So when you're completely done, then we'll have a reveal of the thing that you've been working on. Yes. And it's not me, it's him. So just so y'all know.
Yes. So let's get into the topic of the day, which is what should you do as a man to protect your spouse?
Yes.
How do you make your partner feel safe, secure?
How do you make me feel safe and secure?
I cover you at night when you go to sleep.
I don't know about that. I need more than that, sir.
Hey, listen, in a relationship, it takes a lot to make it work, right?
Yes.
And some people may think it's all fun and
it's all honeymoon life.
It's all light. It's all about enjoying ourselves, but that's hardly the case.
Listen, y'all know what happened over the weekend on Sunday, okay? It went down. I'm sure it's all over social media, all over it, right?
I was working on Sunday. I have no idea what happened.
Come on, baby. Seriously, you don't tell these people you don't know what happened? Listen, I'm not all for violence, right?
Yeah.
But, man.
Listen, I don't have an opinion. I'm sure what went down because he felt that was a way to show.
Do you feel though, babe? Okay, now let's ask you a few questions. Do you feel though this was a way of him, covering or making his wife feel safe? Y'all know what we're talking about. Will Smith and Chris Rock. Y'all have seen it on all over YouTube, on social media. Okay, the slap that went down on Sunday. So it's just it's just a mess. To me, I feel like it's a mess. And that's my opinion. I love both Will Smith and Chris Rock, but I feel like this was not, a good I don't know. It didn't present us well enough. Like for us black people, it just didn't look right. That's all I gotta say. I have more, but I just want to hear what you gotta say.
She said, well, you know what? I looked at it this way. I would have done something different.
What would you have done?
I'm not one that promote violence. Because I believe if as a father I went up and do this, that's me telling my child, hey, it's okay to do this. But we all know that it's not okay to do this to someone. So I would have taken a slightly different approach. Yes. If this was you, my wife, sitting there and obviously you had done this to your head because of medical reason, this is nothing for anyone to joke about.
Right.
So yes, I would have screamed what he screamed, get my wife's name out of your mouth, and really let them know that I mean what I mean and he needs to stop. Mm-hmm. Now, if this continues, then probably I would have reverted to other actions, but I probably would not have led with the slapping. Yes, I know. Yes, as men, we have to stand our ground. We have to show our dominance, and I understand that. Mm-hmm. However, what are we saying to the people looking, the people watching? Right. What are we saying? We're already living in a world where there's so much violence, and to show violence as a way to resolve what seems was a verbal issue. Now, that's not me saying that words are not just as bad as violence. Believe me, mental issues for a lot of us is a big thing, and sometimes words can trigger it, and the consequences can be a lot worse than slapping somebody. Yes. So this is not me saying that it's okay what was said. It's okay, the joke was fine. As me saying that if it was me, I would have taken a different approach, because if I'm in a position where what I do can be seen and be served as an example for others who's looking, I probably would not have led with that. Right. But then again, listen, where I'm sitting right now, I can have an opinion because I was not in his shoes. I had not gone what he went through, and I know they've had the issues. It didn't start that night. I mean, this whole year, started last year, had been a chaotic year. A lot of things came out in the open. A lot of people were in all type of media sharing their opinions and really digging in these people's personal lives.
Well, to be honest, they kind of let this happen openly. Like, they're the one that started this whole thing, to be honest with you.
Yes, but man, I'm not one that keeps up with a lot of things that are happening in the media and so forth. But she's been filling me in on what's going on. Even the book, I didn't know that he released the book. She told me. Yeah. So
if you want to know a lot about Will Smith, you go buy the book. Yes. Everything is on there.
And again, when you put, like, for instance, something happens to me, no one knows, right? No one cares about it.
Yeah.
Something happens to him, or everyone knows. And when you're in that position,
I care. I would care about it. I mean,
well, not you care, but you know what? You won't find people in the TV.
I know what you mean. I'm just kidding.
So, from where I'm sitting right now, yes, I can have an opinion, but I was not in his shoes. I don't know what was going on in his head. I don't know what triggered him to do it. Something did, and a lot of times we react to things without thinking. It could have simply be that, or it could have been something more. I don't know. Only he knows.
Yeah.
And as a man, sometimes we do things because it seems right at the time we did it. That doesn't mean it's the right thing. Because sometimes, listen, I've done things and then later I'm like, shoot, I should have done something different.
I'm sure he probably was saying that when he got home, right?
That could have been the case.
I'm sure. But to me, I feel like, yes, you were protecting your wife. That's the word. Protecting your wife. Jada, at the same time, I feel like you have kids, you have children, and so does he. He has 2 or 3 girls, for them to see their dad getting beat up on a punch, whatever, on national television, where the whole
would have had
world
to come home and explain that to my girls if that happened to me. If I get smacked on live TV, I'll have to do a lot of explaiing to my kids.
I mean, joke or not, it's just like, what about the other person? A lot of people are talking about, Will Smith, who is a good guy. Like, even his mom was shocked. But my thing is, what about the other guy that now a lot of people talk about, Chris Rock, because we don't know how he felt really that night. Like, we don't know.
I know it was painful. A slap in the face.
Yes, it was painful. But one thing I really like about him is that he kept his cool. Like, he didn't really have a reaction. Like, Steve Harvey was like, if it was me, I would have slapped him back. There's a lot of people who would have definitely react to what he did. But I do feel like there's a lot of ways you can protect your woman, but not in that violent situation, because you got to think of, especially where there's a lot of different nationality there, that's like, yo, chill, bro. We all like you. A lot of us love you.
And that could have easily be a conversation like this. I should say, bro, this is my wife.
Right.
You need to stop it.
I don't care whether if they have
maybe curse a couple of times and tell him, man.
No, I still didn't like the fact that he cursed at him afterwards. I still didn't think it was appropriate. I still didn't think that there was there was no reason for him to curse after you really punched someone. To me, it should have been like, okay, I'm gonna go over there and says, hey, take it easy, because based on what they were saying is that Chris Rock didn't even know she had a medical problem. He just threw it out there.
He said she's been open about it. I mean, I didn't know that, but
right, she's been open about it, but he didn't know.
Like this, so that's probably why I didn't know.
But again, I just feel like Chris Rock's kids and family, he has a wife. You know what I mean? So it's just that there's back to the topic. There's so many ways to protect your woman. It's not about punching, hating, or shoot someone.
So are you saying you wouldn't want me to punch someone?
No, I would not want you to do that.
Well, I wouldn't do this because here's the reason. See, I think maybe differently than most people. Say, for instance, I walked up to someone and slap him or physically do something to them. Mm-hmm. That person has the right to press charges against me. Charges that can put me in jail. Mm-hmm. Now, that same family that I was protecting will be that same family now I'm away.
Right.
And they have no one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we have to be very cautious as to how we react. And that's why I avoid reacting. I respond. Because that give me a second to think what I'm doing, what's the risk? And yes, if that was me who gets slapped, I probably would either slap you back or I probably file a civil suit against you.
Listen, I would have slapped you back. I would have slapped you. I don't care. There's a lot of us who can't keep our cool like that. It's great that he's someone who kept his cool, but then again, I've been listening to a lot of, news, especially the Breakfast Club. They talk about a lot of things about Chris Rock when he was little. People do pick on him a lot because he's short and he doesn't fight back. So therefore, all this is like, and sometimes this can have a huge impact on the other person's mentally speaking.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? So
listen, I have never been slapped as a man by another man.
I'm going to slap you back. Okay.
Well, your slapping is a good thing, but I haven't been slapped by a man, and I don't intend to get slapped by any man because, like I said, in many podcasts, I don't trust people. If someone's coming at me and something's off, either I'm going to already be in a way to defend myself or get out of the way. So
okay, let's use this example. What if we are at a place, we are at a party or whatever, and I'm well dressed, and then someone came up to me and said something slick? What would you have done?
I will say something slick back.
And then he says something slick back to you.
Oh, we'll exchange words.
And then he punched you.
Oh, I will punch him back.
Okay.
Oh, no. In that case, you will get a punch back. Oh, yes. And believe me, my punch will be stronger than yours.
What if he's like, okay, you're like, man, I'm with my wife. I want you to shut the F up, and he kept going and don't stop, but you get aggravated. You're like, listen, I just want you to stop because otherwise you're going to escalate into something else. So what would you have done? Would you like...
I'm not going to be the one, or I don't intend to be the one.
Well, baby, you don't know
the fight. Now, if I'm somewhere there's a bozo acting up, maybe I'm in the wrong crowd. Maybe I don't need to be near you.
Let's just say,
because sometimes there are people that you're around. You just allow yourself to get in confrontation. And this is one of the reasons why there are places that I don't go, and that's for that reason. Because there's a lot of hotheads out there. They have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Well, Chris Rock is not a hothead.
No, that's outside of...
You're talking about regular people?
I'm talking about if I go to a place and someone's acting
regular
up.
People.
Regular people. So if I'm in a place someone's acting up, first, if that's not a place that I should be in, I'm going to remove myself from there. Because there's people out there that has absolutely nothing to lose. I have a lot to lose. And sometimes I sit back and be grateful for all that I have. And I've been blessed that God gave me these. I'm not going to lose it for a bozo. Now, there's a line. And if you cross that line, yes, there's things that I don't tolerate. But before it gets to that point, if I have anything that I can do to control it, I would do it.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, yes, I can stand my ground. I can knock someone out and put them out. But there's always something that comes back when you get into that. And those things, you can't go and do over. Once you in it, you in it.
It's the devil.
And
the
think about it.
Like, I'm going.
Somebody's
going to get hurt.
I'm eventually. With you. And that bozo's got a group of other bozos with them. I'm already in a position where I'm not winning. Now, with words, I can intimidate you. I'm bigger than you, and that's why I want to continue to be.
What if it's bigger than you?
I want to continue. Listen, there's bullies that are big, but if they know that you can stand your ground, they'll back off. Because bullies sometimes are not as strong as they seem. And yes, if I'm in a place there's some hothead just acting up, I put you in your place with now. If it seems like, you know what, this is going to escalate into something that I don't want it to be. Yeah. Especially if I'm with my kids and my wife.
No, let's not put your kids in there.
I'm with my wife. Right. I don't need to be in, because once I start, it puts you at risk. And if I have the opportunity to remove myself, I remove myself. Because at the end of the day, one of us has to be the bigger person. And sometimes the bigger person means, and I give it to Chris Rock, he come out to be the bigger person. Because he could, as small as he is, compared to Smith, he could have fought him back. But he chose not to. Yeah.
Because, he was there for a purpose,
He chose not to, because that could have easily escalated. And yes, some people says, man, I would fight it. But think of what that would have looked like
for us.
Two grown men, black man on a stage at the Oscar fighting.
One thing that's not a good picture.
That's not a good look.
That's not a good look.
I'll be embarrassed as a black man.
It's just like, it would have been better if it was like after the party, they do, they have their own little fight or whatever after the party, but not during the Oscar while everyone is sitting there, that's the part. And after the party, y'all could do whatever y'all want to do. You go outside, and that's
someone will film it and put it on Instagram.
But that's okay after the party, but not during the Oscar. That's what's messed up about it, And the thing is, it's like when you're such a good person, you actually speak a lot of positivity on people. You're motivated and inspiring other people, and then for us to see you doing that is so hard. Here's what I'm thinking right now. A lot of us are not seeing all the good things that he've done in the past. The bad, whatever happened, what happened Sunday is actually what's on everyone's mind right now, right? I feel like we all completely disregard like all the good things they've done, like all the great motivations or movies or whatever. I mean, I still like the man, but I just feel like, whatever that he did in the past, what he did last Sunday outweighs everything now.
Yeah, and obviously when I shared this, I said I would have done differently. I'm not against him protecting his wife. I think if he did this to show that, hey, you don't just say anything about my wife, that's fine and dandy. Yes, do what you can to protect those who are most important to you. Me personally, I would have done something different.
Yes.
And this is why I'm not judging what he does. I'm just saying if it was me, I would have done something different. But what he did made sense for him, even if later he decided, you know what, I shouldn't have done it. That's for him to worry about.
He said already.
As far as for the look, it's not a good look.
At all.
It's not a good look. Listen.
It's a forever bad look.
Many people already see us as thugs. We can't control our angers. We can't think right.
One thing I really hope that don't, curse his career, because this could potentially be where, people don't hire him to make movies.
The man could just retire and it's good to go.
Where people would have a hard time because of his bad reputation, during the Oscars. So that could potentially hurt his career. You know what I mean?
He can retire.
He has tons of money.
I don't think he was worried about his career. He can easily read.
I was talking to my mom earlier. My mom was like, I'm sure it's good for a movie. She's like, I'm sure they have a movie coming up where they're going to use the slap somewhere and then throw that in a movie. My mom.
No. Your mom's not thinking right.
She's like, I'm sure it's going to be in a movie. But anyways.
Yeah. But as a man, we have a responsibility to protect our wives and our children. How we do that is up to us. And I'm in no position to tell a man what to do.
Yes,
I think
I agree.
Men should decide to do what they think is best for their family. I just have certain ways that I do things.
Correct. But here's the thing for me. If it was you, and whether or not if I was happy or sad or mad about what he said, if you had gone up there and slapped him, I probably would have said to you, what were you thinking?
Yeah, you would say that.
I probably would have said, babe, what were you thinking? Like, this is so wrong, But to me, I'm wondering, what did she say to him afterwards? Like, great job, or...
I'm sure they had a conversation, but you know what?
Like,
I don't know her that way to even think what she would.
But I don't think I would want this for... I don't think I would want this for me, because that's not how I want you to make me feel safe. Like that's no. God forbid what's gonna happen. We never know if the person might
got
come
a
back.
gun and shoot me, and then now we both dead.
No, that's not how you want to feel secure in your relationship. Come on now, let's go back to the topic.
So as a man, we have a responsibility to protect our wives and protect our children, and how we do that obviously is up to us. But we have to think of the actions.
Yes.
That we take.
Yes.
What are we saying to those around us?
Yes.
What are we saying to our children that are coming up? If my daughter sees me walked up and smack someone like this, I'm going to have to do some explaining.
Correct.
As to why does that make sense? Because we don't teach our children to be violent. No, we do teach them to stand their ground.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if someone does something wrong to them, they need to put their foot down and really let you in. And if they're gonna punch you, and I know the little one pulled someone's hair, way little. We had to go to
not
school.
the little one.
Oh yeah, well she was little then. Yeah, the older one, but she was like 3 or something.
She was 3,
and I think she got in an altercation.
Listen, a little girl's messing with her. Okay, when she was 3 years old, this little girl was messing with her. She's like, oh, you gonna mess with me? She pulled the girl's hair. And here's the funny part. The school called me and they're like, Mrs. Estimate, we're just calling you know your daughter is okay. But she was fighting a little girl. And I was like, what? She's 3 years old. How could that be? Why is she fighting kids?
Don't mess with me.
Yes, but guess what? The other girl started first, so she was defending herself. So she pulled her hair, and therefore both parents got called. They called me and they called the other kid's mom. Again, you gotta teach your kids. You gotta defend yourself. Don't let people mess with you.
You have to defend yourself, but at the same time, don't be the one who initiates the violence.
Right.
Always look for a diplomatic way. However, there are situations that there's no diplomatic solutions. You have to. I mean, if you can prevent it from getting to that point, yes. And it's what I'm saying. I don't know what was going on at the time that Will acted this way, but as a man, we have that responsibility. And if our wife gives us any indication that something's wrong, we have an obligation to do something.
Yes.
Now, what we do, hey, listen, if I'm going to talk to someone, if I'm going to approach someone, if I'm going to pay someone a visit, or if I'm going to take my wife out and then get out and then come back and deal with it, we have to do something. Because one thing that when people does things to you, you don't do anything, they think that you're okay with it. And you don't ever want to give anyone that impression. No, if I'm not okay with that crap, I'm not okay with it. And you're going to know.
Yes.
Now, if you didn't punch me, I'm not going to be the one that initiates the punch, but I'm going to hit you as hard with words as you did to me or to my wife. Yes, but you need to know. And it's one of the reasons genetically, I'm not small. And I'm glad that I'm not, because many people that come across me, I'm bigger than you are. So just my look itself needs to intimidate you and make you think twice. Mm-hmm. And I can raise my voice. Mm-hmm. So don't think you can be louder than I am. Well, my brother and I, we've had our moments, and we see who can be louder, but we have it. And thank God we like this. We're not violent people. Mm-hmm. But if someone does something to someone we love, you're going to see us. Now, we're not going to initiate it, but if you come with it, we're going to get back at you. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So,
but then again, there's some women out there who like when their man is violent. They like when the man is, fight and protect them. That's the way of protection is by fighting another person, and that to them that makes them feel like, wow, my man is really protecting me, because they fist punch someone or pull a gun on someone, or there's some women that's what they like.
And this person misunderstood what protecting someone
again means. It's their preference.
So yeah,
that's what they like.
And hey, listen, remember,
they like the violence.
Remember, I've said in many podcasts that our experience, the things that we've been exposed to sometime way early in life, dictates what's important to us and how we do things.
Yes.
If that person came from an environment where there's always fighting, and fighting seems to be the solution to problems, then this person will resort to fighting. And if something happens, you don't fight, this person may see that, hey, you're not doing the right thing.
Well, then again, they feel like when you fight for them, that means you show them you really love them. Like, hey, I love you. I'm going to fight for you. Somebody messing with you, instead of using my words to protect you, I'm going to fight that person.
And I get put away for 5 years and you move on and go hang out with someone else. How does that help anyone else?
It's just what they like.
But and this is where in this world,
not everybody's the same.
Not everybody's the same, and I understand that, and I would never expect everyone to be the same. But a lot of the time, people misunderstood what it means to do certain things. Mm-hmm. If someone said fighting is the way to show you that I'm protecting you,
yeah, you'll match me.
Then you misunderstood what protecting means.
You don't mess with me. My man's gonna come out here and fight you.
Yeah, these days people really have to think twice about fighting.
Correct, absolutely.
There's people, you get in an argument with them, before you know it, they wait for you outside and they could potentially shoot you. So
yeah,
so we have to think twice before we piss people off. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons
sometimes you piss the wrong guy.
There's certain people,
the wrong person.
I just don't want to be associated with you in any way.
Yes, that's why it's good to, before you get yourself into a relationship, you really need to look at your partner's circle to see who they are hanging around with, right?
Yeah.
Like, who are your friends? I want to know who your friends are. I don't know if you have, like, I may be this Christian person, this Christian girl, but then you like a hardcore man and your friends are hardcore, and then before you know it.
True story.
Okay.
We've been invited to certain gathering, and I get there and I'm like, with the type of people that are here in this gathering, am I in a position where if the cop come breaking down this door, that they'll take me to be part of them?
Well, yeah.
Right? So, and we got to pay attention to our surroundings.
Yes.
And obviously, we know we live in this environment. We can see what's going on. Mm-hmm. We can feel it. And it's live in our communities. There's certain things, that if you continue being in this circle, things bound to happen. Mm-hmm. So to avoid it from getting to the point where things are happening, I just remove myself. That's why there's certain activities I don't get engaged in. We don't.
And we have a reason why we don't engage to those activities. And it's for, we're grown. We don't have to give you a reason.
We just choose to do certain things. Right.
We just love our home and our couches.
But things like this allows you, because that is a form of protection. Mm-hmm. Say, for instance, if I'm taking you out, I'll vet the place first to see where we're going and where that's located. And I know there's been cases we go and drive to certain places and we get like,
we've done that. Yes. That's not us. That's not where we want to be. Yeah. My husband is very picky when it comes to certain places that we go on, for.
Well, say, take this example. If you're on a diet and you don't want to get fatty food, you don't go eat in a restaurant where they sell fatty food.
Okay.
You're bound to have it. So if you're not looking to encounter people that may be hotheads, don't go to places where they hang out. Just choose to go to other places.
Right.
Because there's places you go in, it's just that place, that's what you expect to get from there. So in that case, now,
why is that a way of you protecting me, or is it a way?
I won't take you in, because.
But if you were single, you would have probably go with your boys, right?
I probably would have.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm always thinking, what are the consequences? In a way, that's a good thing. In a way, that's a bad thing, because it keeps you back from doing things that could help you move forward.
It keeps you in a cage.
But I'm always thinking, if I do this, what the consequences may be.
I'll live life.
And listen, I've been blessed, and that's probably because I've been avoiding things. So
I understand.
So I can't say that my ways have not yielded good things. It has. It landed me you. Because I tell you, there's certain ways, there's certain things, if I was in, your parents will not have let me gone to their house and ask your hands in marriage.
Right.
So my ways are not all bad. I
but
know
you gotta expand a little bit, okay?
It's good to expand things.
It's good for you to expand that a little bit.
It's good to be wild sometimes.
Well, yes.
Don't get me wrong. It's good to be.
Yes, I like a bad boy sometimes.
She does.
I said sometimes, okay, not all the time.
Yeah, but hey, listen, in a relationship, we have to protect those we love.
Yes,
and there's different ways of doing that.
Communication is so important.
It's good. It's good to talk.
Yes,
and I've seen what happened over the weekend. A very firm approach using communication would have been suffice. Go up there, take the mic from him, and put him back in his place. You're a comedian. You can take this from a comedic viewpoint and turn it into serious, because there's many people in the audience that would have listened to what he had to say.
Yes, it's just so hard. Like, this would have never happened if the wife did not make that look. But look.
She was probably feeling crazy bad inside.
It's the look that got all this nonsense went off, you know? It's the look that she made. Because mind you, I know we're going back, but we're not going to stay on it. But mind you guys, y'all have seen the videos all over, right? You've seen the clips. He laughed at the joke. He laughed at it. He thought he was just like, you know, when Chris Rock said the G.I. Joe whatever show, Will Smith laughed at the joke. It's when he looked at his wife, rolled her eyes like, oh, seriously? And then that's when he's like, okay, I got to prove a point. But did you really have to? You didn't have to. You know?
You weren't in the man's shoes.
But then again,
he probably had to.
He's a comedian. All these happen so many times. You know, when you go to, we've been to the improv many times.
No one's ever picked on me nor you when we go there, so you don't know what I would have done. No, but
the thing is, we've been to improv where comedians, they pick on you for a little bit. It's not personal, right? It's not personal. It's just them throwing shady jokes, and then that's what they do. And
it's something funny. Hey, listen, I think when obviously he hosted the Oscar because he can keep the party going and he can keep it light. Yes, there's some jokes. There'll be jokes. There's always been jokes in these things.
Yes.
And I didn't watch it. I don't know what other jokes happened during that night, but I'm sure there were other jokes. This wasn't.
And I think this is why it's good to communicate, right? Because I know you mentioned that when it comes to communication is so important. Like, if he had really wait after the thing is over, I'm not gonna say went up there because it just doesn't make sense to me. Go up there to say something.
He was probably gonna get the talk from the wife. You so weak, and he just didn't want to do it. He needed to show strength. I don't know. Hey, listen.
Yeah, you
kind of. I know a lot of people talking about this.
Too.
I don't know them.
You kind of got you have a good point there, baby.
I only see him in movies. I don't know what their relationships are like.
Yeah, I'm sure
some little women are feisty. And if he didn't do anything, he was probably going to get it tonight. I mean, that night, rather. What prompted him to? I'm sure there was a valid reason.
Yeah. It's the look.
He's usually a straight-minded guy.
Yeah, mind his own business. You know, with the whole mess that came out 2 years ago, 2020 and 2021, we were all shocked. We're like, what? what? Are we talking about that same Will Smith? But anyways, that's what happened when you put your business out there. So,
but yeah,
they're gonna use it against you.
But we still gotta do what we can.
Yes.
To protect the people we love. Now, what we choose to do is up to us.
Correct.
Sometimes it'll get criticized. It get talked about people who don't even know who you are. I don't know who they are. And here I am talking about what they did. But again, I'm not judging what he did. I'm just saying if it was me, I would have done it differently.
Right.
But then again, most likely if I was in the same position that he was in, I could have done the same thing. See, when we're not in it,
right,
we all have an opinion. We all say we would have done it differently. We all can say that because we weren't in it. At that night, I don't know what was going on in his head.
Right.
I don't know what talk that he even had with his wife before they went in. We don't know what talk he could have gotten if he didn't do anything. I don't know what talk he got. I hope he
had a great talk afterwards.
He did.
I hope he had a good talk.
What we all saw was the action and the couple of words that were shared prior. But there's a whole lot I'm sure we're missing. And to say that he's wrong, I'm in no position to say this. I'm just saying that it's not a good look. And that look can be interpreted by a number of different people different ways. I know some of us were already born with a disadvantage. There's some labels that are put on us already. And sometimes if we give reason for that label to be validated, then we are the one putting it out there. And for those reasons alone, I would have chosen to take a different route.
Yes. You said yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So yes, I'm all in it to protect you.
Yes.
I can't say that the first thing I'll do is slap someone on your behalf, but if it comes down to that, I might. Just need to be a small guy that I can just pick up and throw over. And listen, I know what we've talked about. Many of you guys have heard about it already, and you probably have your own opinion on what you think was right and what you think wasn't right. So we just want to share our part, and obviously I'm all about protecting Cece. Believe me, I may be smiling, I may be laughing.
Hey, listen, you have two girls, so with your girls,
don't
with your ladies,
with my ladies, because that smiley Will you see now is not always smiling.
Okay.
So this is our podcast on ways to protect your spouse or your partner in a relationship. Now, that way could be a number of different things. So thank you very much for listening to our podcast. If this is your first time with us, please remember to subscribe. And obviously, this is the first time we've brought in some current events, but this was like so hot we couldn't pass on it. So please share this podcast with anyone you think it may be beneficial to. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you would do and how you would handle it.
Yes.
Yeah. And, if you're a lady, let us know you felt that this was the right thing to do for you.
Exactly.
Leave some comments. We want to hear your thoughts and this whole thing, because this is something that's going to be talked about for weeks and maybe months coming.
Oh, years.
So, but yeah, we appreciate the comments. Like the video, share it, and check us out on the audio channels. What are they again? Shopify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud, and I'm missing one, iHeartRadio. So guys, thank you very much for listening to our podcast today on the things that you should and can and must do to protect the people you love. So until then, we'll see you